What if the miracles you've been praying for are not far away? What if they have been waiting for one thing to change, not your circumstances, but your state of being? Many people spend their lives chasing blessings, searching for the perfect opportunity, waiting for the right moment, and hoping that one day everything will finally fall into place. They believe miracles are rare, unpredictable, and reserved for a fortunate few. But the greatest shift begins when you realize that miracles are not something you chase. They are something you align with. Everything in life responds to the person you believe yourself to be. Your thoughts, your feelings, your expectations, and your inner conversations quietly shape the reality you experience. The moment you stop identifying with fear, lack, and limitation, and begin living from confidence, gratitude, and certainty, you create an inner atmosphere where extraordinary possibilities naturally unfold. You were never meant to live in constant struggle or endless waiting. You were created with the ability to transform your life from the inside out. Every day, you have the opportunity to choose a new state of consciousness, a new identity, and a new expectation. And when that choice becomes consistent, the world around you begins to reflect it in remarkable ways. Today, this message is an invitation to become the person who naturally attracts peace instead of worry, abundance instead of lack, opportunity instead of limitation, and miracles instead of doubt. Open your heart, quiet your mind, and allow yourself to discover what becomes possible when you stop chasing blessings and begin becoming magnetic to them. Every transformation begins with a simple but profound change in identity. Before your circumstances can reflect a new reality, your consciousness must first accept a new version of yourself. Most people spend their lives hoping for miracles, while secretly expecting disappointment. They pray for abundance, but continue identifying with lack. They desire peace, but constantly rehearse worry. They long for success, while quietly believing they are destined to struggle. In doing so, they unknowingly remain loyal to the very state they wish to escape. The first step toward becoming magnetic to miracles is not learning how to attract them. It is becoming the person who naturally expects them. Your life is always reflecting the state of consciousness you consistently occupy. If your dominant expectation is that life is difficult, you will unconsciously notice more reasons to believe that it is. If you constantly assume that opportunities are rare, your attention will overlook the countless possibilities surrounding you. But when you begin expecting favor, growth, and joyful surprises, your perception changes. You become aware of opportunities that were always present, but previously hidden behind the veil of doubt. The world has not suddenly become different. Your consciousness has become receptive to a different experience. Think of a radio receiver. Invisible signals fill the air every moment, yet you only hear the station to which your radio is tuned. The music has been there all along, but you experience only the frequency you choose. Your consciousness functions in much the same way. Every day you are tuning yourself through your expectations. If your thoughts are dominated by fear, your attention becomes tuned to problems. If your thoughts are filled with confidence and gratitude, you become tuned to possibilities, solutions, and blessings. Miracles are not absent from your life. They become visible when your inner state is aligned to receive them. Many people mistakenly believe they must wait for a miracle before they can expect one. They say, "When something wonderful happens, then I'll believe." But this keeps them trapped in an endless cycle of waiting. The deeper truth is that expectation comes first. A gardener plants seeds because they expect a harvest. They do not wait until fruit appears before believing the seed will grow. In the same way, you must cultivate the expectation of a greater life before it becomes visible. Your expectation is the fertile ground in which miracles quietly begin. This expectation is not wishful thinking or blind optimism. It is a quiet certainty that life is responding to your inner state. It is waking each morning with the calm confidence that something good is unfolding, even if you cannot yet see it. It is choosing gratitude before the evidence arrives, peace before every answer is revealed, and hope before circumstances have fully changed. This steady confidence transforms the way you move through the world. Instead of reacting to every setback with fear, you begin responding with trust. Instead of assuming the worst, you naturally anticipate the best. Your expectations also influence the way you interpret everyday events. A delay no longer feels like failure because you trust that the right timing is unfolding. A closed door no longer destroys your confidence because you believe a better opportunity is preparing itself. A challenge no longer becomes proof that life is against you. Instead, it becomes another opportunity to strengthen your faith. The same circumstances that once discouraged you now become stepping stones because your identity has changed. It is important to understand that expecting miracles does not mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to allow temporary appearances to become permanent conclusions. There will still be moments of uncertainty. There will still be situations you do not immediately understand. But your focus remains on the greater possibility rather than the present limitation. You learn to see beyond what your eyes report and remain loyal to the vision you have accepted within. Every day offers a new opportunity to strengthen this identity. Begin your mornings by reminding yourself that life is working in your favor. Speak words that reinforce confidence instead of fear. Fill your imagination with scenes of harmony, success, love, and abundance. Protect your mind from conversations that encourage hopelessness. The more consistently you nourish this inner atmosphere, the more natural it becomes to expect miracles instead of merely wishing for them. As your expectations change, your behavior changes as well. You begin making decisions with greater courage because you trust the future. You become more generous because you no longer believe there is not enough. You smile more easily because your heart is no longer burdened by constant anxiety. You become calmer during challenges because your peace is rooted within rather than dependent upon circumstances. These outward changes are not forced, they flow naturally from your new inner identity. Never underestimate the power of becoming the person who naturally expects miracles. You are not forcing life to respond. You are aligning yourself with a higher state of consciousness that welcomes extraordinary experiences. The more faithfully you remain in that state, the more your outer world begins reflecting it. Opportunities arrive unexpectedly. Relationships become more harmonious. New ideas emerge. Doors open where none seem to exist. What once appeared to be coincidence gradually becomes your normal experience. Remember, miracles are not reserved for a select few. They become the natural expression of a consciousness that has learned to trust, believe, and expect the very best from life. Become that person today. Choose expectation over doubt, faith over fear, gratitude over complaint, and possibility over limitation. As you do, you will discover that miracles have been moving toward you all along, simply waiting for you to become the person who is ready to receive them. One of the greatest secrets to transforming your life is learning to feel fulfilled before your physical eyes can confirm that anything has changed. Most people have been taught to believe that emotions are simply reactions to circumstances. They think, when I receive what I want, then I'll feel grateful. When I achieve success, then I'll feel confident. When my life improves, then I'll finally experience peace. But this way of living keeps fulfillment forever in the future. It creates a habit of waiting. Yet the creative power within you operates in a completely different way. It invites you to embrace the feeling first, knowing that the outer world faithfully follows the inner state you consistently occupy. Everything begins within. Before a building exists, it is imagined. Before a tree rises above the ground, life is already growing beneath the surface. Before a sunrise fills the sky with light, the dawn is already on its way, though unseen. In the same way, every miracle first begins as an inner experience before it becomes an outer reality. The feeling you repeatedly cultivate becomes the atmosphere in which your future quietly takes shape. Imagine someone who has just received wonderful news. Before anyone else knows, before every detail has unfolded, something changes inside them immediately. Their shoulders relax, their heart fills with relief, their smile becomes effortless. They begin looking at the future with excitement instead of uncertainty. Nothing in the outer world may have visibly changed at that exact moment, yet everything has changed within them. This is the kind of inner transformation you are invited to embrace. Instead of waiting for visible proof before allowing yourself to experience joy, choose joy because you know a greater reality is already unfolding. Many people unintentionally remain emotionally attached to the very conditions they wish to leave behind. They constantly think about what is missing, replay past disappointments, and worry about what might go wrong. As a result, they continue strengthening the emotional atmosphere of lack. They desire abundance while feeling poor. They long for peace while nurturing anxiety. They seek love while dwelling in loneliness. The feeling they repeatedly entertain becomes more familiar than the future they truly desire. To change your life, you must become more emotionally connected to your vision than to your current circumstances. This does not mean pretending that challenges do not exist. It means choosing not to allow temporary appearances to determine your inner state. Circumstances are always changing, but your consciousness has the power to remain steady. You can acknowledge a difficult situation while still carrying hope. You can face uncertainty while remaining peaceful. You can encounter delays while continuing to feel grateful. This quiet confidence is what separates those who merely wish for change from those who inwardly prepare for it. Your imagination plays a vital role in creating this fulfilled feeling. Spend time each day seeing yourself already living the life you desire. Imagine the conversations you would have, the peace you would feel, and the gratitude that would naturally fill your heart. Do not simply picture success, experience it inwardly. Let your imagination become so vivid that your heart responds, as though your dream has already become part of your life. These moments are not fantasies, they are rehearsals for the consciousness you are choosing to occupy. Gratitude is one of the most powerful expressions of fulfillment. Most people wait until something wonderful happens before they become thankful. But gratitude has the ability to transform your awareness long before visible change appears. When you sincerely appreciate the blessings already present in your life while giving thanks for the good you know is unfolding, you shift from a state of lack into a state of abundance. Gratitude opens your heart to possibilities that fear can never recognize. As you continue living from fulfillment, your daily choices begin to change naturally. You make decisions from confidence instead of desperation. You speak with hope rather than discouragement. You become patient because you trust that what belongs to you is already finding its way to you. You stop comparing your journey with others because you are no longer seeking proof that your future is secure. Your assurance comes from within, not from circumstances. There may still be moments when doubt tries to return. Old habits may whisper that nothing is happening. When that occurs, gently return to the feeling you have chosen. Remind yourself that today's visible world often reflects yesterday's thinking, while tomorrow is already responding to the consciousness you are cultivating now. Every time you return to gratitude instead of fear, confidence instead of worry, and fulfillment instead of longing, you strengthen the identity of the person who naturally receives life's greatest blessings. Remember, miracles are not drawn to constant desperation or endless striving. They are welcomed by a heart that already believes, a mind that already trusts, and a spirit that already rests in quiet expectation. Feel the fulfillment before the evidence appears. Let your inner world become the home of peace, abundance, and certainty. As you faithfully remain in that state, your outer world will gradually reflect what your heart has already accepted as true. Do not wait for tomorrow to give yourself permission to feel blessed. Choose that feeling today. Live from it. Protect it. Strengthen it every day. For the moment your inner life begins reflecting the reality you desire, the visible world begins moving in harmony with it, and miracles no longer seem distant. They become the natural expression of the consciousness you have chosen to embrace. Fear has a quiet way of convincing people that they must control every detail of life before they can feel safe. It whispers that if they worry enough, plan enough, or constantly analyze every possibility, they will somehow prevent disappointment. Yet this habit often creates the very state they wish to escape. Instead of living with peace, they live with tension. Instead of expecting blessings, they expect problems. Instead of trusting that life is unfolding in their favor, they become consumed by the need to force every outcome. But the greatest transformations never begin through fear. They begin the moment you release your grip on anxiety and learn to trust the unseen process that is quietly working on your behalf. Every meaningful creation follows an invisible season before it becomes visible. A seed planted beneath the soil does not immediately reveal its growth. Day after day, unseen changes are taking place. Roots are spreading, strength is developing, and life is preparing itself for the moment it will break through the surface. If someone judged the seed only by what they could see, they might wrongly conclude that nothing was happening. Yet the most important work was taking place where the eye could not reach. Your own journey follows the same principle. The moment you embrace a new state of consciousness, an invisible transformation begins, even if the outer world has not yet reflected it. Many people interrupt this process because they continually return to fear. They plant a hopeful assumption one day, then uproot it the next by asking, "What if it never happens?" They imagine the life they desire for a few moments, only to spend the rest of the day replaying worst-case scenarios. They want peace, yet they repeatedly feed anxiety. They desire abundance, yet they constantly focus on lack. Without realizing it, they divide their attention between faith and fear, making it difficult to remain established in the state they truly wish to experience. Trust begins when you stop demanding immediate evidence. It is the quiet confidence that life is responding to the person you are becoming, even before your senses can confirm it. Think of a traveler who has already purchased a ticket for a journey. They do not spend every hour questioning whether the destination still exists. They prepare, they remain confident, and they move forward because they trust the process already set in motion. In the same way, once you have accepted a new vision within yourself, your role is not to worry constantly about how it will unfold. Your role is to remain faithful to the state that gave birth to it. Releasing fear also means letting go of the need to control every step. Many people believe they must know exactly how every opportunity will appear, how every obstacle will disappear, and how every dream will become reality. But life often works through unexpected paths. Doors open that you never planned. Conversations occur that you could never have arranged. Opportunities arrive through people you never expected to meet. When you insist on controlling every detail, you may overlook the greater possibilities waiting beyond your limited perspective. Trust allows you to remain open to solutions greater than your imagination could design. This does not mean becoming passive or avoiding action. Trust is not inactivity. It is acting from peace instead of panic. It is making wise decisions without being driven by fear. It is moving forward with confidence while leaving room for life to reveal opportunities you cannot yet see. When your actions flow from calm assurance rather than desperation, they carry a different quality. You stop chasing outcomes and begin cooperating with the unfolding of your vision. One of the greatest ways to strengthen trust is by guarding your inner conversations. Notice what you repeatedly say to yourself when challenges appear. Do you immediately assume the worst? Do you imagine failure before success has even had a chance? Or do you gently remind yourself that every situation can become a pathway to something greater? The words you repeat within shape the atmosphere of your mind. Replace fearful questions with confident expectations. Instead of asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" begin asking, "What wonderful opportunity is preparing itself for me?" This simple shift gradually changes the direction of your thoughts. Patience becomes much easier when trust is present. You no longer measure progress only by visible results, because you understand that unseen movement often precedes visible change. You become less anxious about timing because you believe that what truly belongs to you cannot pass you by. This calm confidence frees you from constant striving and allows you to enjoy the present moment while remaining hopeful about the future. As fear begins to lose its influence, you will notice remarkable changes within yourself. You become less reactive when circumstances temporarily seem difficult. You recover more quickly from disappointment because your hope remains intact. You stop interpreting every delay as failure and begin seeing it as preparation. Your peace becomes deeper because it is no longer dependent on immediate results. You begin living with the quiet assurance that something beautiful is unfolding even when you cannot yet see it. Remember that the unseen process is not empty waiting. It is the invisible preparation of tomorrow's reality. Every faithful thought, every grateful feeling, every confident expectation, and every moment you choose peace instead of fear is strengthening the foundation of the life you desire. Release the need to control every outcome. Let go of anxious striving. Trust that the work taking place within your consciousness is already setting greater things into motion. Walk forward each day with a peaceful heart. Hold firmly to your vision, remain loyal to your highest assumptions, and allow trust to become stronger than fear. For when you stop resisting the unseen process and begin cooperating with it, you discover that miracles often arrive quietly, naturally, and at exactly the right moment. Your greatest responsibility is not to control everything happening around you. It is to protect what is happening within you. The world around you is constantly changing. News headlines shift, people's opinions rise and fall, circumstances improve and decline, and unexpected situations appear without warning. If you allow every outside event to determine your inner state, your life will always feel uncertain. But there is a place within you that can remain calm, confident, and filled with expectation regardless of what is taking place on the outside. That place is your inner world, and it deserves to be guarded above everything else. Everything you experience begins in consciousness before it appears in physical form. Your thoughts become beliefs. Your beliefs shape your emotions. Your emotions influence your actions, and your actions gradually create the reality you experience. This is why protecting your inner world is one of the most powerful things you can ever do. If your mind is continually filled with fear, doubt, resentment, and limitation, those states will eventually express themselves in your life. But if your consciousness is filled with faith, gratitude, love, peace, and confident expectation, those qualities will also find expression in your outer world. Imagine your mind as a beautiful garden. Every thought you accept is a seed. Some seeds grow into flowers that fill your life with joy, while others grow into weeds that slowly take over the landscape. A wise gardener does not wait until the weeds have covered the entire garden before taking action. They remove them early and carefully choose what they allow to grow. In the same way, you must become the careful guardian of your own consciousness. Do not allow thoughts of fear to remain unattended. Do not allow resentment to become comfortable. Do not allow doubt to take root. Replace them with thoughts that strengthen your vision instead of weakening it. Many people unknowingly spend their days feeding their minds with negativity. They repeatedly listen to conversations centered on fear, constantly consume discouraging information, compare themselves with others, and revisit painful memories. Then they wonder why they struggle to maintain peace. The mind simply reflects what it is consistently fed. If you nourish it with worry, it becomes anxious. If you nourish it with hope, it becomes confident. Every influence you welcome into your consciousness is shaping your future in ways that may not be immediately visible. This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that difficulties do not exist. It means choosing carefully what deserves your attention. You can acknowledge challenges without allowing them to become the center of your identity. You can remain informed without becoming overwhelmed. You can recognize temporary problems while continuing to expect lasting solutions. The key is to remember that your attention is creative. Whatever consistently receives your focus becomes stronger within your experience. Your inner conversations are equally important. Throughout the day, you are constantly speaking to yourself, even when no words are spoken aloud. Ask yourself what those conversations sound like. Are they filled with encouragement or criticism? Do they remind you of your potential or your past mistakes? Do they strengthen your confidence or feed your insecurity? The voice you hear most often is your own, and it quietly shapes the person you become. Choose words that build you rather than break you. Speak inwardly as someone who expects miracles instead of disappointment. Protecting your inner world also means being selective about whose opinions you accept. Not every voice deserves a place in your consciousness. Some people speak from hope, while others speak only from fear. Some encourage possibility, while others see only limitation. Listen with kindness, but remember that you alone decide what becomes part of your inner belief system. Do not surrender your peace simply because someone else cannot see your vision. Their perspective belongs to them. Your responsibility is to remain loyal to the truth you have accepted within. Another important part of guarding your inner world is learning the value of quiet moments. In a world filled with constant noise and endless distractions, silence becomes a sacred place where clarity can return. Spend time each day in peaceful reflection. Allow your mind to rest from endless activity. Fill those quiet moments with gratitude, hopeful imagination, and confidence in the future you are creating. These simple habits strengthen your inner foundation far more than you may realize. As you faithfully protect your consciousness, something beautiful begins to happen. Fear loses its influence. Worry no longer controls your decisions. Criticism no longer shakes your confidence. You become less reactive because your peace is rooted within rather than dependent on circumstances. Your heart remains hopeful even when challenges arise because you know that your inner state is far more powerful than any temporary appearance. Remember that miracles grow best in an atmosphere of faith, not fear. They flourish where gratitude is stronger than complaint and where hope speaks louder than doubt. Every day, you have the opportunity to cultivate that atmosphere within yourself. Guard your thoughts. Protect your imagination. Choose your inner conversations with wisdom. Feed your consciousness with truth, love, confidence, and joyful expectation. Above all, never forget that your inner world is the birthplace of every future reality. Protect it as you would your greatest treasure. Nurture it with patience. Strengthen it with faith. Fill it with visions of the life you truly desire. As you do, your outer world will gradually begin reflecting the peace, abundance, opportunities, and miracles that have already taken root within. For the greatest miracles are first created in the unseen sanctuary of your own consciousness before they are revealed for the world to see. The final step in becoming magnetic to miracles is not merely believing that wonderful things are possible. It is living each day as the person who already expects to receive them. There is a profound difference between someone who is waiting for life to improve and someone who has inwardly accepted that abundance, peace, love, and success already belong to them. The first person lives in constant anticipation, always hoping that one day circumstances will finally change. The second person walks with quiet confidence, knowing that the unseen reality they have embraced within is steadily unfolding into visible experience. This difference in identity changes everything. Every day you are expressing a version of yourself through your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions. Without realizing it, you are continually answering the question, who do I believe I am? If your answer is someone who struggles, you will naturally think, speak, and act from struggle. If your answer is someone who is blessed, supported, and favored, your entire approach to life begins to change. You no longer make decisions from fear because you trust that life is working with you rather than against you. You stop chasing every opportunity in desperation because you believe the right opportunities are already finding their way to you. Imagine someone who has already received wonderful news. Perhaps they have been offered their dream position, restored a treasured relationship, or achieved a long-awaited breakthrough. Even before everyone around them notices a difference, something has already changed within. Their posture becomes more confident. Their smile becomes more genuine. Their conversations become more hopeful. They carry themselves differently because they are no longer living from uncertainty. In the same way, you are invited to adopt the inner posture of the person whose prayers have already been answered. Not because you are pretending, but because you are choosing to identify with the reality you have accepted within. Walking as the person who already receives also means releasing the habit of constantly looking for proof. Many people spend their days searching for signs that their dreams are close. They measure every circumstance, every conversation, and every delay, hoping to find confirmation that something is happening. But this endless search often keeps their attention fixed on the absence of visible results. True confidence does not depend on constant reassurance. It rests peacefully in the assurance that what has been accepted in consciousness is already moving toward fulfillment, even if the process cannot yet be seen. Gratitude becomes a natural companion on this journey. Instead of thanking life only after receiving visible blessings, you begin living with appreciation now. You become thankful for the opportunities already present, for the growth taking place within you, and for the unseen movement preparing your future. Gratitude shifts your attention from what appears to be missing to what is already abundant. It reminds you that every blessing begins with an open and receptive heart. This new identity also transforms the way you respond to challenges. Difficult moments no longer convince you that your vision has failed. Delays no longer persuade you to abandon your assumptions. You understand that temporary appearances cannot cancel a reality that has already been accepted within. Rather than reacting with fear, you respond with calm confidence. Rather than asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What greater opportunity is unfolding through this experience?" This shift in perspective allows you to remain peaceful even while circumstances continue to change. Your daily habits become powerful expressions of your new identity. You speak words that reflect confidence instead of doubt. You encourage others because you no longer believe there is a shortage of blessings. You act with integrity because you trust that lasting success grows from strong character. You approach each morning with expectation instead of anxiety, believing that every new day holds fresh opportunities for growth and unexpected favor. These simple actions are not attempts to force miracles. They are natural expressions of the person you have chosen to become. There will still be moments when old patterns attempt to return. Fear may whisper familiar stories. Past disappointments may try to influence your expectations. In those moments, gently remind yourself of the truth you have embraced. Return to the identity of someone who naturally receives life's highest possibilities. Refuse to let temporary emotions define your future. Continue walking with confidence, gratitude, and quiet assurance, knowing that every faithful step strengthens the reality you are creating. Over time, this way of living becomes effortless. You no longer have to convince yourself that good things are possible because expectation has become your natural state. Peace replaces striving, confidence replaces uncertainty, joy replaces constant waiting. You stop seeing miracles as rare interruptions to ordinary life and begin recognizing them as the natural outcome of a transformed consciousness. Doors open at unexpected times. Helpful people appear when needed. Fresh ideas arrive with clarity. Solutions emerge where problems once seemed permanent. Life begins reflecting the identity you have consistently maintained within. Remember, miracles are not something you force into existence. They are welcomed by the person you choose to be every single day. Walk through life with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are supported, guided, and deeply blessed. Think from abundance instead of lack. Speak from faith instead of fear. Act from peace instead of pressure. Let your daily life become a reflection of the reality you have already accepted in your heart. For the person who naturally expects to receive no longer spends life chasing miracles. They become so aligned with the highest possibilities that miracles begin finding them with remarkable ease. And when that inner transformation is complete, what once seemed extraordinary becomes the beautiful and natural rhythm of everyday life. As we come to the end of this message, remember this powerful truth: miracles are not separated from you by distance or time. They are drawn to the state of consciousness you faithfully maintain every day. The life you desire does not begin when the outer world changes. It begins the moment you choose to become the person who already believes in greater possibilities. Every hopeful thought, every grateful heart, every peaceful expectation, and every confident decision strengthens the reality you are creating within. Do not be discouraged if everything does not change overnight. Some of the greatest transformations begin silently, beneath the surface, long before they become visible. Stay faithful to your new identity. Continue expecting the best, even when circumstances seem ordinary. Continue speaking words of hope when fear tries to speak louder. Continue choosing peace when anxiety invites you to worry. Remember that your inner world is the source of everything you experience. Protect it with wisdom. Fill it with thoughts that strengthen your faith instead of weakening it. Let your imagination become a place where success, love, abundance, health, and joy are welcomed every single day. The more naturally you embody the person who expects miracles, the more naturally life responds in kind, Doors you never imagined begin to open. Opportunities arrive in unexpected ways. The right people enter your life at the perfect time. What once seemed impossible gradually becomes your new normal. Walk forward with quiet confidence. Trust the unseen process. Guard your peace. Stay loyal to your highest vision. And never forget that the greatest miracle is the transformation that first takes place within you, because once that transformation becomes complete, the world around you cannot help but reflect it. Become the person who naturally receives life's greatest blessings, and you will discover that miracles have been searching for you all along. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. If this message inspired your heart, don't let it remain just something you listened to today. Carry it with you. Let these ideas shape the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you move through each day. Every positive thought you choose, every peaceful expectation you hold, and every grateful moment you embrace is helping you become the person who naturally welcomes extraordinary blessings. If you enjoyed this video, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you never miss future messages created to inspire, encourage, and strengthen your journey. If these words brought hope into your life, share this video with someone who may need this reminder today. One message can change a perspective, and one new perspective can change an entire life. Thank you once again for being part of this wonderful community. Until next time, continue protecting your inner peace, continue expecting the very best from life, and continue living each day with the quiet confidence that miracles are already making their way toward you. May your days be filled with peace, joy, abundance, unexpected blessings, and beautiful miracles beyond anything you have imagined.